Here we go, finally. Hi, everybody. John Kearns here. Hang on one second here. Okay, I got an echo here, so if you can fix that. Aiden back at the studio. Okay. Either that or we'll just turn our headphones off right here. Now then I'll be able to hear. So, not sure why I have an echo.
We have to usually turn the return down.
Yeah, you got to have the return down, Aiden, back at the studio. Okay. Now we still got it. What a way to start the show, huh? You hear me twice.
Nowhere to go but up.
Yeah. Okay. Check, check. Now we got it. No? No, it's still echoing. Okay, well, we just have to do the best we can, Coach. John Kearns here on the audio, and Nick Roth on the video. And we have Tony Egbert, the coach here from Gibsonburg. And again, I think Aiden, if you can do something on the board there, just check your settings, or maybe you can call. Turn that down?
Yeah, that return.
Check, check, check. That. Guess who saves the day? Yeah.
The man right there.
There he is. Thank you, Nick. Very good. We'll have to check that out, see why we had that echo. But, electronics are great. Computers are great, but they have to work 100%. Because if they don't work 100%, then you have a little problem. But okay, so Tony Egbert, head coach of Gibsonburg with us. And you've been on at least one show, right?
Yeah, yep. I think this is my third time this year.
Yeah, very good. So,
yep.
Tell you what a turnaround for Gibsonburg. I know last year was your first year, younger players and all that. Just had a few wins here and there. But, 8-6 right now, but, more than halfway through the season. And by the way, it's hard to believe we're halfway through the season, or actually more than halfway.
Yep, it's crazy. I tell all these guys, there's some seniors sitting behind me. I tell them, you're guaranteed. It's on two hands now. You're guaranteed 9 more of these. So
that's for sure.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy
8-6,
how fast it goes.
6-5. So plus on the, the River Division of the Sandusky Bay Conference, and some really good teams.
Oh yeah.
There's how many?
Right.
2, 4, 6, 8. There's 10 or 11 teams in this division now, and exception. There's a few struggling a little bit, but you got Hopewell, Loudon, Old Fort, Calvert, New Rigo, and yourself, Sandusky, St. Mary. Boy, it's no off nights in this River Division.
No, there's not. And even some of those teams that are struggling this year, like Danbury's a different style to play against, and then Woodmore, Lakota, those are like Woodmore's always been a big rival for us going back to the SLL days and
sure
some of that. So even those kids get up for those games. And
yeah, it's kind of nice to have Woodmore back in the maybe not the SBC, but as far as is. With the Gibsonburgs and the St. Joes and the Old Forts and all that, it's kind of nice to have Woodmore, and it's a good fit, I think.
Yeah,
their school.
Oh, absolutely. Yep, it feels right. Right. Yep.
All right, so Woodmore only a couple wins so far, and we had them earlier in the year. They have some younger players, and they got veteran coaching, but they'll come along.
Oh
yeah,
they will.
Sure. So
Coach Klaus does a good job there.
Yeah. So. Tony, again, 8-6. So let's talk about your last couple games, couple wins. Back on the 16th last week, you played Edison, and of course that's Edison's in the SBC, but not the River Division.
Right. Yep.
And so a bigger school, and you got home game and 64-49 in that game. So how about a few highlights of that game?
Yeah, that was one. It was an interesting one because our girls. This was one of the first times they played on the same night. They were at Bellevue, so usually. This year, like our boys have given our girls a good student section for our home games, and the girls have returned the favor, giving us a good student section. So it was one of those where you kind of got to bring your own energy, and we got off to a good start. Sam McEwen, a senior for us, he had a big night. He hit 6 threes for us. I think his first one hit the back of the rim and bounced 15 feet in the air and then fell in, and then it was just kind of one of those nights for him where he got it going, which was big. He's a really good shooter, and when he gets it going, I think we have a lot of guys that can really space the floor and do a lot of different things.
And that was after a couple losses to, probably two better teams or maybe the best teams in the River Division with Calvert and Hopewell Loudon.
Yeah.
Calvert, off the air, you said you were up by 1 late in the game, lost by 7, but, Calvert has had a lot of wins over the last few years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Lots of wins. So.
Yeah, lots of wins. And I think over the last, 3-4 seasons, I think they've only lost 2 home games. So so we knew going over there it was going to be a war. It was going to be a tough one to win. But our kids were right there. They battled back from a double-digit deficit early, and at the end, Calvert just kind of wore on us and made a couple more plays than we did. And which credit to them. They're used to winning. They know how to make those plays.
Of course, in the River Division, you play everybody twice.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Calvert at home the very last regular season game. That's on 23rd of February. So that should be a big crowd for that one.
Yeah, yep. And it'll be senior night, so there will be a little extra. It'll be an emotional night, but hopefully a little extra motivation for our kids to send our seniors out the right way. So. And
then a couple weeks ago, a loss to Hopewell Loudon again, 64-47. What makes Hopewell Loudon so good this year?
Man, their guard play is really good. Barrier, Martinez, and Yarborough, they can score it really well, but they also they defend like crazy. And then you got those 3 stud guards, and you got the returning River Division Player of the Year down low with Evan Crease, who can play on the wing too and shoot it, and then you got 6'7" Donovan Elmore down there protecting the paint. So they can really defend well, and all 5 of those guys any of those guys can go off for 20 plus any single night, so they're tough to defend too.
A lot of bad weather this past Friday. A lot of games canceled, but you had the game with Lakota. You guys are not too far away.
Yep.
Pretty close together. So you had that game at home against the Raiders. Won that one pretty handily, 53-29. Mm-hmm. How about a few highlights of that one?
Yeah. We've been dealing with a little bit of sickness, so the lineup got mixed up a little bit, but the kids came out and they responded. I think it was something like a 10-0 run to start the game right away, and we got up and pressured them and created a few easy ones for us, and from there we kind of let our it wasn't our best shooting night. I think we were 23 of 62, and a lot of those were looks that we normally knock down, but we didn't really let that discourage us on the defensive end and kept up our energy down there, and that's what we always preach. Our defense is going to lead to our offense. Our defense has to be our calling card, because there's going to be nights where you shoot like that, and that's okay as long as you can defend.
Right.
You're going to be in the game. So.
And a couple games this week. You play at New Riegel on Thursday, and then at home against Old Fort on Saturday. But first of all, how about New Riegel? I did see them once earlier when we did the game at Woodmore.
Okay.
And they won. That was a close game right there. They actually, let's see, against Woodmore, I think they may have won, but any event, I think it was fairly close. But how about New Riegel?
Yeah, going over there is a tough test too. That's a place. It's really hard to play well at New Riegel. Coach Losey's been there forever, and they've got a couple good senior leaders with the Flores kid, the Goshi kid, Homan, their point guard, and New Riegel. That's kind of one of the. They don't have football or anything. So
right, they love their basketball.
They love their hoops over there, and it shows. Those kids work hard, and they've got kids that can shoot lights out. And but it's going to be a big test for us, because we're looking up at them right now. They're a game up on us in the league, so we're kind of been preaching this would be a big one to get us up there.
And speaking of teams that don't play football and are good in basketball, Old Fort,
Old Fort's pretty good at it too.
They're always good.
Yep.
It seems like that small schools that don't have football, they're always good in basketball because they concentrate on it.
Yeah. Yep. Old Fort. It's another team they're an older team. They got a lot of experience, and it's similar to like a Hopewell, where they're really hard to guard, because if you key in on Perez, then Ernsberger is going to go off for 20, 25, or the Adelsberger kid shoots like 50-some% from 3, which is insane for a high school kid. They've just got weapons all over the place, and they get after you with their defensive pressure.
And looking ahead, only because I mentioned this, so you play on the road at Fremont St. Joe Central Catholic, a team that's in the house here.
Yeah,
We'll talk to them here soon. But, you played them earlier in the year, won that one. But that was two different halves. I know at halftime it was real close, and then you pulled away in the second half. Right?
Yeah, yep. I think they were up 6 at half, if I remember right. I know Stahl had a big first half against us. They've got some guys over here that can really score it. So when one of them gets hot, it's tough to stop.
Yeah,
good shooters when they see the ball go in once or twice, their confidence gets going. And but we came back, responded the second half, which was good to see. That was kind of got us on a roll, really, to kind of show the way that we can play. And that was one of those early games that kind of got us on a roll here these last 3-4 weeks or so. So
that'll be on Friday, February 2nd in Fremont, and I mention that because that's our game of the week. So we're going to broadcast that game at St. Joe Central Catholic with Gibsonburg here. And looking at your team individually, you have a couple players in double figures as far as scoring. Jake Hall, right, and also Reese Walby.
Yep.
Jake almost 11 points a game, and Reese about the same, about 10.6. But you also have, Camden Mooney 7.4, Aiden Moranta, I think 8.1, Sam McEwen 7.1, Zach Magoo is 7.7. So, boy, that's some really good scoring. You go from 11 down to about 7 points, and you have like 5 or 6 players. You know?
Yep. And all those kids, I think. Mooney's had a game where he scored, I think, 22 against Elmwood. Sam just had 22 against Edison. Aiden's had a game with 18 against St. Mary's. They've all had big games, and that's what we kind of preach. We're again, you can't really key on one of us, and I don't think none of those kids really care who scores that night. I don't think they don't care who gets the credit, as long as they've got a little taste of winning now, and they just want to win, which is cool. It can be accomplished when no one really cares who gets the credit. So,
that's 6-year plays during a bulk of your scoring. You have a few others like Hunter Wasserman, but for the most part, what about guys off the bench? You do need some guys to come in. They may not score a lot of points, but I'm sure they do some other things well.
Oh yeah, yep. So Camden Mooney comes off the bench for us now. He was a starter last year. He can handle it. He's a versatile player that can do a lot of things. You mentioned Hunter. Hunter's a freshman. He's a big body for us who he's really starting to come into his own. He does a lot of things defensively and rebounding for us that we always say it's the things that don't always show up in the box score, and I think he's starting to gain some offensive confidence. Jacob Henderson's another big that comes off the bench for us who can defend really well and rebound. And then Nick Lucas is another senior who can mix it up defensively and kind of create some havoc defending on the ball too. So I like our pieces there. That there's a lot of guys that can do some. They all have different strengths that can really contribute to winning. So.
Okay, very good. What players will you have on the air here tonight?
So there's 3 seniors back here. I have Jake Hall with me, Zach Magoo, and then I have Sam McEwen back here too. So
okay,
they're a little nervous.
That's
right.
You pick the first one to come up. We'll Okay, very good.
This is Jake coming here. So.
All right, very good, Jake. I'm John Kearns. Have a seat, and we'll talk. We'll get these on you here. You have to go from the left side, sir. All right, so, and then we'll get this mic pretty close to your mouth. Okay. So, all right, so you're Sam, right?
I'm Jake.
I'm Jake. I'm sorry, Jake Hall. And Jake, are you a senior or a junior?
I'm a senior.
Okay, very good. So, been playing basketball at Gibsonburg probably for, 5th, 6th, 7th grade. Probably,
4th grade, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to turn your mic up just a little bit here. Get you some more volume here. But, okay, being a senior, who else on this team are seniors?
It's Zach, Sam, Nick, and Jacob.
Okay.
They're all the seniors, including me. So there's 5.
Okay. Last year was a kind of a rough season. You had new coach. new system maybe, some younger players, but not too many wins. But boy, it's got to be a lot more fun this year. Having a winning record here, at 8-6 at this point, right?
Oh, for sure. 3-19 last year was not exactly what we wanted, obviously, but new team, new coach, as you said, you can't really expect anything.
Yeah, very good. So, so what's your role? What's your role with the team as far as are you one of the captains too, or
We don't really have captains.
don't have captains? You just
Yeah.
have you have
Yeah.
the seniors that. Okay, so but you still have to kind of advise and help out the younger players,
Yep,
right?
for
So-
sure, for sure.
Right. So, on some of those younger players, what do you kind of show them or teach them a little bit, maybe in practice or during the games?
So-
Other than the coaches.
Yeah. Hunter, I've kind of had to take Hunter under my wing, I would say. He's in the same situation as me. He needs to shoot the ball when he's in the game. He's going to be a great player, I can see it, but I kind of have to lead some of the younger players. That's my role.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so you got you've won I think 7 out of your last 9 games, but got a couple big games coming up this week. New Regal and Old Fort. So and as Coach said, those are the schools that don't play football; they love basketball.
Yep.
So they love their basketball. So going over to New Regal on Thursday, so one game at a time. Trying to win another one. You won your last 2. So, what's the game plan? You've had a good week of today's Monday, but
Yeah.
you'll have 3 practices before the game, but for New Regal. But let me see. Did you play them earlier in the year? You
Yeah,
did.
we did. We lost by 4.
Yeah,
or
lost by
5.
4 points. So, what's going to take to get over the hump and get the win?
We just got to find shooters. They all can kind of, especially up top, their wings, they can all shoot the ball. So if we locate shooters and kind of lock them down a little bit, I think we can win the game.
And then Saturday you play Old Fort, and Old Fort always has a good team.
Yep.
Always. I mean, I
Always.
can't really remember last time Old Fort didn't have a good basketball team, and they're always very tough. So same thing. What's it going to take? I know you played them earlier, lost 57-43, not too bad, but this is going to be a home game this time. So.
Yeah. I mean, last time we were in it basically 3 out of the 4 quarters, and we had just had 1 bad quarter. I think they had their whole lead in the whole 3rd quarter, and outside of that, the whole quarter, I think we can, if we shut them down, limit their shooters, keep them off the offensive rebounds, and I think we have a chance.
All right, very good. So, well, thank you very much for stopping by. Once you get, who you going to have? What team are you going to bring
I'll get
over?
Zach.
Okay, Zach Magoo, right?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, very good. All right, so we'll get Zach Magoo, who averages 7.7 points a game. Thank you very much. Hey, Nick, we're good on the. Yeah. Okay, and so very good. Hey, Zach, right? Okay, have a seat and then get your headphones on here. We'll get you on the air. Zach Magoo. I used to do Gibsonburg games years ago. There were some Magoos. So you have some relatives who's played for the Golden Bears?
Yeah, my older brother TJ and
Yeah.
Aiden. Aiden played about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very good. So any more brothers after this, or you the last one?
No, I'm the last. Yep.
Hey, last one. Okay. But all like basketball, that's for sure, in her family. But I was just telling you, your teammate, it's a lot more fun this year, having a record of 8-6
Oh, yeah.
and, only winning maybe like 3 games all year. And that was a tough season, but a lot of schools go through that, and once in a while. You don't want to do it very often, but I'm sure just a lot more fun. Practicers are more fun, right?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. It's definitely more fun to have a winning record.
Yeah. And you got some more wins coming up, that's for sure. So I guess we can ask you the same questions. You got 2 big games in the league this week. Thursday at New Regal and then Saturday at home against Old Fort. So, that's it's going to take some good basketball to get these wins, but you got a couple more days of practice yet.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So how about New Regal? You lost by 4 the first time. What's it going to take to get a win?
I think we definitely have it in us. We just need better offense all around. I think that's where we really struggled. We can play defense on them without a doubt. I think we can hold them to less.
Yeah, Zach, you average 7.7 points a game. What's your position on the team?
I play power forward.
Yeah.
So I'm just rebounder, or I like to sit around the 3-point line mostly.
Yeah.
But I'll crash for boards and stuff.
Years ago, Gibsonburg was always known for, a fast-paced kind of pressing defense and, getting points off turnovers and things like that. But you guys are kind of in the middle right now, averaging about 57 points a game, which is pretty good, like that. But what do you describe your play as offensively? I mean,
Offensively, a lot of it's just off press. We get a steal and we get a point. But when we're in it, we like to run our plays. A lot of 3-point shots. That's a lot of our offense. But
Yeah.
we need to get it in more, drive it more, and just kick out. I think we chuck a little too much, but
Yeah.
it goes in. So
yep. That's one of those things about 3-point shots. You know, some nights, boy, you hit them and everything's going. But there's some nights that they don't always go in, and and you miss a lot too. And so, but I think you just have to keep going because you can't like give it up. You just, sometimes they just don't fall.
yeah, I think we're one of the best shooting teams in the league. But
Yeah.
when we have a good night, we're all good.
All right, very good. Hey, thanks for stopping by and talking with us just for a couple minutes. Zach Magoo, Gibsonburg, and one of the, 3 seniors, or is there more
Yeah,
than 3?
we have 5 seniors.
5 seniors.
Yep.
Three we're going to talk tonight.
Yep.
So you got one more. Sam hasn't talked, right?
Nope.
Sam McEwen. Is it McEwen?
Yep, McEwen.
Okay, and I'll have you get him, and then we'll wrap up the Gibsonburg segment.
Thank
here.
you.
So, all right, very good. Thank you. So good. Okay. All right, so one more to go here. Sam McEwen, Gibsonburg. Okay, very good. Welcome to the show, Sam. One of 5 seniors on the team and one of 3 here tonight at Frickers, and averaging about 7 points a game for your team. And I'm going to ask you the same question I asked your teammates. You got 2 big games coming up this week.
Yeah. I mean, I think these 2 games are gonna determine where we might be in a tournament game. So
Yep. We'll put that mic a little bit closer here. Okay, very good. Yeah, so New Rigo on the road. Never easy. Play over at New Rigo. First time you played, it was a close game, lost by 4. So you can beat them. And so go over there to New Rigo and see what you can do. And then coming back Saturday night and playing Old Fort. So 2 big opponents here. So big week of basketball for your team.
yeah. I mean, it's gonna be tough, but I think we know what we have to do.
Yep. And Old Fort, you played on the road the first time, lost 57-43, not too bad, and within striking distance. So what's your role on the team? What's your position?
So I would just say a shooting guard. Really, it's like a 3-and-D type player. I'm usually up in the press if we're pressing, and I usually sit around the 3-point line. Some of the plays are designed for me to shoot a lot, so it's about.
Okay. And one of the starting 5 usually?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Okay. And so Coach Egbert got you guys whipped into shape here, and he's still got a lot of basketball to play, but it's hard to believe that the season's more than half over as far as the regular season. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy to think, we only have, as seniors, 9 guaranteed games left, but
Yeah.
it's scary, but I think.
Got to make the most of it, don't you?
Yeah.
So you got 8 wins now, and you got some more wins in there, that's for sure. So before you even think about the tournament, you've won 7 of the last 9, so kind of on a roll. Started out, with a very tough schedule. Now you're playing Northwood, Hopewell, Loudon, New Rigo, Old Fort. Start out, and only got the 1 win against Lakota, but ever since you've only lost a couple. And really you played Tiffin Calvert. There's probably 3 really standout teams in the River Division, and Calvert's one of them. They haven't lost many games over the last 3-4 years. And Coach said you were up by 1 with about 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, especially to play at that place and to compete there, it's really tough. So the fact we were able to stay in that game, shows a lot about us this year, I think.
You lost by 7, and you get to play them at home the very last game of the regular season on February 23rd. So it's important to peak, well, and play your best basketball right at the end of the year. Right?
Especially senior night. I think that's a really important game for us.
For sure.
If we can win that on, going into tournament, it's a huge momentum swing for us.
Well, for sure, and in your confidence, too. So it's a big game, but you got a lot to play before that. So.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Well, thanks for stopping by,
Yep.
Sam, and best of luck this week. And our next broadcast of your team will be at St. Joe in a couple weeks. So we'll be over there to broadcast that game. So, all right. Thank you very much. And I think that's Gibsonburg night. That's about it. So we're going to take a pause. We'll come back and we'll switch gears and go to Fremont St. Joe Central Catholic. We'll talk with their head coach and some of their players coming up. Tonight we're kind of concentrating on the Sandusky Bay Conference River Division with St. Joe and Gibsonburg. Stan Young is the first-year coach for SJCC, and he's up next. But right now, let's take a timeout here on Eagle 99. What was the problem? Here at the Frickers in Fremont. And Nick, tonight's what specials? Boneless wings, right? Boneless wings, all right. How much? For 79 cents each. There you go. So most football players and basketball players like wings, that's for sure. And so they have wings here for sure. They have boneless wings, they have chicken chunks, and they have traditional wings, and a whole lot more. So we like to thank Frickers for being the host of this show every week, and they've done this for many, many years, football and basketball. And our Bowling Green State University coaches shows at the Bowling Green Frickers, and there's some Frickers up in Toledo as well. So it's a good place to come in and get something good to eat and drink, that's for sure, especially if you're a sports fan, because they have 35 TVs all over the place, for sure. Hey, for the second time this year, we have Stan Young, who's the first-year head basketball coach at SJCC, which is Fremont St. Joe Central Catholic High School. And welcome back. I know it's been a few weeks, but welcome back. And before I do anything else, I'd like to congratulate you and your fiance for, the birth of your little boy, not just very recently, right?
Yes, sir. January 7th.
Well, geez, today's the 22nd, so 2 weeks, and he's already in here at Frickers.
Oh, yes.
All bundled up, though. Yeah.
Oh, real bundled up, Yep.
Well, congratulations, yeah. So I got to see the little guy, and sleeping away, and That's and looking really good.
Shockingly.
So yeah, they're so cute when they sleep. So
Oh yes, that's the best times right there.
so congratulations, there, Stan.
Thank
But,
you. I appreciate that.
All right, so let's talk about your team. This Sandusky Bay Conference River Division is awful tough. There's 10 teams, and you just have some outstanding teams in this league, and you've had to play a couple of those recently.
Right.
We were talking before. Old Fort, New Regal, they're two of the schools that don't play football. So anytime you have a little school that doesn't play football, you know what they do? They love their basketball.
Oh,
okay,
yes.
and they kind of concentrate on that. So most times they always have pretty good teams because they can concentrate on basketball kind of year round. It's not that the only sport they have baseball and volleyball, but they don't have football. So, but let's go back. And you also had to play Calvert. Now Calvert has football, but Tiff and Calvert. Over the last 3-4 years, they haven't lost very many games. They're right there. So you've had to go that tough stretch with Calvert and Old Fort, New Regal. But how about some differences? How about comparing maybe Calvert and Old Fort?
The difference, I would say, with Calvert, they kill you on the boards, offensive, defensively. They got some big guys down there, and they kind of just get after it and dominate the paint. Got some shooters that can stretch it out, and they got a decent point guard that handles all the pressure for them, and gets the ball across half court and get them into their sets. And then with Old Fort, they're a different machine. Those guys get after it, man. Not from tip off until the end of the game, just nonstop getting after it, man. They're nice and strong. They're well conditioned, well coached. They move the ball very well. They're a very tough competitor for sure.
Well, you had a game scheduled Friday night. Of course, we had bad weather on Friday. A lot of games were canceled. Sandusky St. Mary. You have a date on that yet or not really?
I believe it is the 10th. So I believe we're February 10th.
Okay, we'll put that on our notes, February 10th. And I think that's the away game at Sandusky.
Yes.
St. Mary. But you came back Saturday when, we had sunshine on Saturday. And so you made a road trip down to North Baltimore. That's a little bit of a trek down to North Baltimore. And lost that one, I think, by 12. North Baltimore years ago was in the same league as St. Joe, the MAL. But really haven't seen them too much over the last number of years. And so they must have a pretty good squad.
Yes, they're pretty good. In the first half, we jumped out on them a little bit. Got out. We ended the half with 23 to their 13. And halftime, they came out and just outworked us. They came out and got after it, pressed us. They was finishing in the paint. They started knocking down threes. So they turned it up a notch. Whatever they coached at halftime, it obviously worked.
Well, coming up this week, you have a couple winnable games for sure. Woodmore, who you already beat this year, 54-48. And Danbury, I think you won that one 67-60. So this will be the second time you've faced Woodmore and Danbury. And both are home games. So you won those games earlier on the road, right?
Right. And those were some tough battles. That Woodmore game, it was kind of like back and forth. And then towards the end of the fourth quarter, we was able to stretch it out to about 10 or 12. And then it just kind of turned into a dogfight. They started pressing us and trapping us, and just made the game a little more interesting towards the end. And we was able to knock down free throws to pull away with that one. And then Danbury, those guys like to run and gun, man. They like to get up and down the floor and kind of just get after it and constantly pressuring us. So we're excited for these two this go around. Hopefully just to be able to beat kind of sweep them. Trying to get some wins back on the column.
Yeah, for sure. Danbury, of course, Keith Diebler, who's been coaching for a long time. And I've never seen a Keith Diebler team, no matter what school he coaches, is that they're all out all the time. Offense and defense. They don't take any breaks. So, so kind of wears you out to a certain extent, but you got the win earlier. Okay. Let's talk about your team right here for St. Joe Central Catholic. Got a couple players that average in double figures as far as scoring. Cooper Talika, 14.2, and Clay Stoll at 11.4. Grant Pert is also chipping in at about 8 points a game. So your 3 top scorers, how about a word about those guys?
But those guys, those 3 are our 3 returners from last year. Those 3 started last year, and you know Clay and Grant, those guys are our team captains. And then Cooper, you know, he's obviously our leading scorer. So we lean on those guys. You know, we kind of go as they go. You know, if these guys are rolling and, you know, got the right mindset into the game, it kind of just flows and just, you know, passes on down to the rest of the team. But those guys are awesome, man. We've been able to build a great relationship. These guys, man, we get food, you know. We do it all, man. We practice, we work hard, and then, you know, I like to say, you know, play hard. You know, go out, eat, you know, have some fun, laugh a little bit.
So obviously 3 starters. Who else starts for you or comes off the bench first?
So we have Sam Paith. He's a pole vault guy. He went to States for that. So, you know, he's kind of like our motor guy. And then we have Cohen Stahl, his Clay little brother. He's a sophomore, so, you know, he's kind of getting his feet wet with the, you know, varsity experience. But, you know, he's huge for us. You know, he plays defense. He can shoot the 3 pretty well. And he's just learning as he goes. And then we got a few guys that, you know, contributes off the bench for us. We got Matthew Connell, Eli Holman, Nick Anderson. You know, these guys, they come in and, you know, just do whatever's asked of them. You know, we can throw them in at, you know, for this guy or that guy, and, you know, they just kind of pick it up right where we left off.
Very good. I'm not sure if I asked you the first time that we had you on the air, but who's some of your assistant coaches? Are all your assistant coaches, you know, not only for varsity and JV, but, you know, maybe, you know, the lower grades too?
Mm-hmm. So as my right-hand man, my associate coach, who's also my JV coach and a freshman coach, is Christopher Hurt. And then I have Coach Brandon Girl. He played last year with these guys, so it's kind of like cool to have him around because, you know, play with them. They have that kind of, you know, relationship already. And then for junior high, we have Coach Travis. And he's doing a great job with those young guys. You know, they don't have the, you know, biggest numbers, but, you know, those guys go out and compete, and, you know, they're able to stick away with some wins and stuff too. So it's fun watching those guys.
All right, very good. So who will we have on the air tonight as far as your players? Or who do you choose?
Well, tonight we have Clay here. We have Cooper here. We also have Grant here, and Sam Paith snuck in here. I don't know if you have room for 4, but
Okay, maybe. So, yeah. So we'll do that, and we'll do it one at a time. So whoever you want to choose first, we'll have them get on the air here and talk a little bit about St. Joe basketball.
okay, absolutely. We'll just go down the list. We'll start off with Clay.
All right, very good. So we'll get Clay over here, and so and I ask easy questions, so, you know, nothing real hard. Yeah, so Clay Stahl will be first up here, and we'll have you put those headphones on and get that mic pretty close to your mouth there so we can pick you up there. So, all right, Clay, are you a senior?
Yes, I am.
All right, very good. So, and I know you started last year, this year. Did you start maybe as a sophomore too? or
Yes,
played a
I
lot?
did. Yeah,
All right,
and then
very
I
good.
dressed as a freshman.
Well, very good. So you got a lot of experience, you know, with the St. Joe uniform. So, you know, having, you know, senior year, you got to have a little fun because he goes pretty fast, you know, like that.
For
And
sure.
Talking with the coach, and you know, lost the last few games, but you know, this is some tough teams you played, you know. And this week you have a real good chance of picking up a couple wins, get back on the winning ways because you've already defeated these 2 teams, Woodmore and Danbury, right?
For sure, yeah. We're just trying to get back on track, get back to playing well as a team, you know, stick to what we know we can do.
And they're home games, and you know, I've done many games over the years at you know, at St. Joe, so you know, you make it. You know, it's a small gym, small floor, but it's your floor, so you know it, right?
For sure, yep.
Yeah.
And we have a bunch of fans that come out to support us every day, so
Yeah.
it's always nice playing at home.
And I've heard a lot of coaches over the years say, boy, that's a tough place to play because fans are on top of you and it's really loud, and you know, it's not a real big floor. You know, like Old Fort's pretty big floor.
For sure,
But
yeah.
you know, you play differently, don't you? I mean, you know, if you play Old Fort plays under a big floor and they come to your a little bit smaller floor, you know, and you have the advantage.
For sure, yeah. I mean, we got really tight corners, so people are always stepping out of bounds at our place. But yeah, it's a great environment. Always nice to protect the home court.
Of course, over the years, we always broadcast games, the ones we did from the balcony. So I always had the balcony view over top and everything. It's kind of a neat view from up there too.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're one of how many seniors on this team?
I think there's 7 or 8 of us.
Wow, you got a
Not
big
sure.
senior class.
We do,
yeah.
yes,
So
yep.
got to go out in winning ways, and you're more than halfway through the regular season. So I'm sure you're thinking you gotta finish out the season with some wins, and then you also have to peak at the right time and play your best basketball right before the tournament, right?
For sure, yeah. Seeding's always a goal of getting a good seed in the playoffs. So we just want to, win as many games as we can now. But keep our eyes on the future. Get ready for playoffs.
All right. So best of luck to you. We'll pass it on to another teammate. You want to bring Cooper over here, and then we'll talk to him. Thanks for spending a couple minutes with us, Clay. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Very good. So we'll get Cooper Talika, who's next here. So Cooper actually is the leading scorer in this team, 14.2 points per game, 170 points so far this year. So good start for Cooper. So we'll get those headphones on there, Cooper, and we'll get that mic pretty close to your. Oh, wait, sorry. We'll get this right here. Now I can shake your hand. How you doing? So Cooper Talika, you a senior also?
Yes.
Yeah, and a lot of seniors, and here's the thing, at a smaller school, you don't usually see that many seniors go all the way to seniors because, you get dropouts. You start playing basketball maybe in 7th, 8th grade, and it's not, maybe not getting much playing time, they might drop out. And then so that class kind of gets smaller, but sometimes you only see 1 or 2 seniors, even at bigger schools.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to see you guys have really stuck it out, and you've stuck together after all these years, right?
Yeah. We haven't had really any dropouts. We've had one of our teammates that we played with for a long time left, but it's pretty much all been the same guys. We've all been playing together since like the 4th, 5th grade. So it's nice to have. And then a couple additions and younger teammates,
Oh, for sure. So, you lead the team in scoring 14.2 points per game at the last report that I got, and then Clay's 11.4. But what's your position on the team? And now you take some threes along with twos. What's your philosophy offensively?
Definitely, I'm more of a shooter. This year, trying to attack more. Mm-hmm. First, 2 years of varsity. Sophomore and junior year, I was primarily just a shooter, but I'm kind of starting to learn more that if I attack more, that 3-point shot opens up for me, and so I'm kind of a shooter first, not the greatest ball handler, so kind of give that to Clay when I can, but then I still like to attack and create my own shot.
You got teammates Grant Pert, Sam Paith, and others, and you guys play well together, practice together well, and. But for this week, an opportunity to get back in winning ways and get 2 wins, and it's a golden opportunity because you're going to be at home.
Yeah. I feel like we play a lot better at home. The energy there is a lot. It helps us a lot. And our whole team is based off of energy. And, even in practice, we're trying to be as loud as we can, trying to build each other up. And we need that constant energy. And, that's what keeps us going.
Well, you got 3 road victories this year, so that's something, as well. It's an awful tough division, the River Division now with 10 teams. And, the school's about the same size for the most part and very competitive from top to bottom. And there's a couple of teams that struggle to win a lot of games. But, even like Lakota, it's, they go out there and play hard and, they can pull an upset here and there as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. But keys to victory again against this week. You have Woodmore. We're going to have the game. If you can't make it to the game, Eagle 99 will broadcast the game. That'll be on Thursday. And so if you can't make it to the game, tune in. And then Saturday night, it'll be Danbury.
Yes, sir.
And Coach, and I think Clay mentioned that, Danbury, just a couple wins, but, boy, they play hard. And you're going to be tired after you play them, right?
Oh, yeah, they love to push the ball. And Tyler, he's quick. He's shoot it from anywhere. He's a good scorer. The quick guards, they just like to get out and run. That's kind of what they do best and have always done best, at least when I've been playing.
All right, very good. Well, thanks for spending a couple minutes with us, Cooper Talika. And I think I will grab another teammate here. Let me get my sheet. And how about Grant? If we
All right.
can get Grant here.
All right,
Thank
thank you.
Appreciate that. Grant Pert. So we'll get 4 players on tonight. Everybody get a couple minutes. Grant, nice to meet you. Part of his team. Are you a senior as well? One of those 7 or 8 seniors?
Yes, I am.
All right, very good. So you've been playing for St. Joe basketball for since what 5th, 6th grade or
4th grade, actually.
4th
yeah.
grade? Yeah. So so you know these guys really well. You're fellow seniors, right?
Yeah.
You've been playing together for a long time, and that makes a difference too. Is because you kind of know what your teammates are going to do, right? At any one point.
Yes.
Okay. Are you a guard on this team?
No, I'm actually the center. I play the
Center.
5, yeah.
Okay, very good. See, you sat down before you stood up, so you're the center. So, averaging about 8 points a game. So, you got teammates that feed you the ball pretty good, and do you score your points in the paint, or you like to go out and maybe do some jumpers, or?
It really depends on the game. Against Hopewell, I had 3 3-pointers, but most games I usually have either one or I usually don't shoot a lot of threes, but a lot of my points come in the paint or mid-range area.
Yeah, being the center, but it is fun to go out and shoot some threes, right?
Of course, yes.
You want to just stay in the paint down there and got to move around a little bit. But new coach, new system this year. It seems like Coach Young's come in here, put you guys together, and it's been a good experience, Coach. Playing under Coach Young.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone really enjoys being around him. He's just a really great guy. We all like him.
Yeah, very good. So that helps for sure, and like that. And really, you've had 3 different coaches in 3 years,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
And and every time you change, you're going to have to, change things up a little bit. You can't play like you did last year because every coach has a different philosophy. But you guys have kind of, persevered with that and put it together. So, but a good opportunity this week to get a couple wins.
For sure.
Yeah, very good. All right, anything else you'd like to pass along? But if not, we'll maybe get you later in the season. But how about one more player? We'll get Sam, and then we'll kind of wrap up the St. Joe segment. So, all right, very good. Grant, thank you very much. Okay. One more here. All right. Okay. Sam Paith, last but not least. And are you a senior or a junior?
Junior.
You're a junior. So, okay, very good. So, and my question is, I've been around for a long time. Was your grandfather Biz Paith?
Yes, he was.
There you go. I've known Biz for many years. I know he's departed now, but great guy, great coach. He coached at both Ross and St. Joe in the past. But St. Joe guy, and then went down to Florida and coached basketball down there. But boy, he loved the sport of basketball. There's no doubt about it. He loved it truly, and so you want to keep that family tradition going, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, very good. So as a junior, do you start on this team or come off the bench? Or?
I start on this team,
Yeah,
yes.
do you? Okay, very good. So, and what's your position and what's your role in the team, really?
I'm kind of I like to think of myself as the guy who's trying to get us started, like in the beginning of the games, trying to get some momentum built up. And my positions, I kind of change day to day pretty much, but mostly like a 3. And
You like shooting threes,
yeah,
yeah. It's fun, especially when they start hitting, right?
yeah,
Not so much fun when they clink off the rim or something. But that's going to happen. You're going to have hot nights and cold nights.
Yeah.
And, you're just hoping that you're more hot than cold for sure.
Yeah.
But and that helps a whole lot. But this team has a good opportunity to get a couple wins. The teams you play this week, you've already beaten on the road, Woodmore and Danbury. So really good chance here at home to get 2 wins and get back on the winning ways after you played, a few really, really tough teams and didn't get the wins.
yep.
Yep. So what was the keys to victory the first time you played Woodmore and Danbury, on the road?
Physicality for both of them, making sure that we were not just matching their physicality, but we were going beyond it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what got us those 2 wins.
We got a couple days more practice to get ready for these 2 teams. Thursday night against Woodmore, Saturday night against Danbury. So both at home. And I was telling one of your teammates that you guys, have to claim, your home court, your home floor as your own, because some teams don't like to come in to the St. Joe gym because it's loud and it's smaller, and the fans are right on top of you. So you have to make that advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. So, well, very good. Nice to meet you, Sam. And again, grandson of Biz Paith, who coached both Fremont, St. Joe, Central Catholic, and Fremont Ross over the years. I know it's been quite a while, but I've interviewed him, talked to him many times over the years. I know it's been a while, and I think he came back, from Florida once, visited, and came in and talked to us. So it was nice to see him. But I know he's passed on. But good legacy for the Paith family. So thank you very much, and best of luck this week. Okay, very good. All right, so that does it for St. Joe Central Catholic night. We're going to have one more timeout. We'll come back and wrap it up. We'll have Nick Roth come in. We'll talk a little bit about high school basketball. Let's have a timeout. Be right back after this. What?
Past few times we've done it, Tim has had to manually put the return down and up after.
Oh, I didn't know that. Used to, we didn't have to do that. So I know what. I got to check the board because never did that before. Okay, time for just a few notes here, and I'd like to welcome in the guy that's behind the camera most of the time, but now he's in front of the camera, Nick Roth. Didn't get you much time tonight, Nick, here, but we got a few minutes. Nice to talk and take our time with Gibsonburg and also St. Joe Central Catholic here tonight. So,
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to be here, John. I apologize to the viewers on YouTube Live that have to see my face tonight. You know,
Oh, come on.
it's good for them that we have a shortened up segment tonight.
Oh, jeez. Well, like I said, we talked to a bunch of players and all that, so it was Gibsonburg and St. Joe night. But let's go over the schedule here. Tomorrow night we have on Eagle 99 BGSU basketball. Hey, the Falcons are doing well this year.
They are. They're doing real well. They're on a little bit of a hot streak right now. They just beat Western Michigan on Saturday. Last Tuesday they beat Miami of Ohio, whereas my friend Kevin Peel said they finally got over that hump. They weren't able to beat Miami of Ohio the past few years. They finally got over it. It feels like a different year in the Todd Simon era, I'll tell you that, John.
I think they are, correct me if I'm wrong, 14-4 maybe?
Yes, they are. They are really doing well this year.
All right, very good. Thursday night on Eagle, we have high school basketball. We have Woodmore at St. Joe in boys play, so we just talked to St. Joe players. And 6:45 pregame for that one, 7 o'clock tip-off with Tim Boulware. Friday night, Oak Harbor plays at Genoa. This will be a kind of a new, we haven't had the Northern Buckeye Conference too much, the NBC this year, but we'll have a chance to go over to Genoa and get one of those. Oak Harbor's in a new league. They were in the SBC for many years, now in the NBC. And they'll play at Genoa, and you'll be there along with Tim Bull. Or no, it's going to be Kyle Knight. Yeah. Kyle Knight on Friday night at Genoa. So 7:15 pregame, 7:30 tip-off. Then Saturday, BGSU, their big rival game at Toledo. And they're hot. Let's see if they can knock off the Rockets.
Yeah, hopefully. It's always a tough matchup against Toledo. They're always good, especially in basketball. So we'll have to wait and see on that one.
1:30 pregame, 2 o'clock tip-off on that one. And then on next Monday, we'll be right back here with the coaches show here at Frickers right after the BGSU Falcons Nest coaches show. The BG show at 6 and the Frickers High School show at 7 o'clock. Then on our sister station, 92-1 The Wolf. Right now, we have the makeup game. They had to cancel the game or postpone the game Friday night. Clyde at Bellevue in boys play because of the weather. They're playing right now, and that's on 92-1 The Wolf. And I just checked, Clyde 22, Bellevue 19 at halftime.
Wow, yeah, you knew that one was going to be a close game, and people were upset when that one got postponed, obviously for safety reasons for the roads. But, yeah, you knew that was going to be a good one. Always a spirited rivalry over there.
Okay, tomorrow night we have a big girls basketball game right back at Bellevue. Again, it'd be our 4th time in a row there. It'd be Margaretta at Bellevue Girls, and that's going to be a big one.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's always great to go over to Bellevue. Go over 4 times, but it's a great facility over there, so that'll be a good one.
7:15 pregame, 7:30 tip-off tomorrow night. And we have to kind of bump our Ohio State basketball game tomorrow night, but, we have to do that every once in a while. And then on Saturday, Ohio State will play at Northwestern Saturday night. 7:45 pregame, 8:30 is the tip-off for Ohio State basketball Saturday night. And then the Chris Holtman Show will return next Monday night on the Wolf at 8 o'clock. So that's our upcoming schedule for about the next week or so. But as far as schedule goes, Nick, for tomorrow, let's just go over tomorrow's schedule around the area for boys basketball. Genoa plays at Siegel, Maumese at Fostoria, Rossford Eastwood, Norwalk's at Sandusky, Anthony Wayne at Toledo Christian, Liberty Center at Perrysburg, Ottawa Hills at Lake, Springfield at Toledo Waite, and Wauseon at Sylvania Southview. So that's some of our area teams playing tomorrow night. Then one game on Wednesday, Tiffin Calvert plays. You ever heard of the Norwalk St. Paul team?
Yeah, I've heard of them. Just a little bit, yeah. Vaguely remember that team.
Yeah, well, that's where Nick went to high school. He's a Flyer. He's not a Clyde Flyer.
No,
he's a St. Paul
I'm a Flyer with a Y. That's
Flyer
me.
with a Y. Remember that because Clyde is with an I and St. Paul with a Y.
Yes.
So that's the big, and they'll have a big game because Calvert's good. Although, winning record so far this year for St. Paul.
Yeah, they've been playing pretty well this year. Took them a little bit to get going, but now they're on the right track.
Oh, there you go. So that's kind of all the time we have for tonight. I'd like to thank our 2 schools, Fremont St. Joe and Gibsonburg, for coming by and talking with us about their boys basketball. Stan Young for St. Joe, the first-year head coach, and also Tony Egbert, head coach, second year for Gibsonburg. Okay. Matter of fact, we'll have that Gibsonburg and St. Joe boys game coming up on, I think Friday, February 2nd. That'll be on Eagle 99. Thanks to Aiden Klein back at the studio for keeping us on the air. And thanks to Nick for doing the camera and helping out here at the end. John Kern saying so long. Next week, it'll be Tim Boulware. He'll be here for the Coaches Show here at the Fremont Frickers. This is Eagle 99 WFRO. All right. Anytime, I mean, I tried, I had talked to Shelby